next game is an emotional one. And I say emotional because it has lit the entire world on fire.
Sure has.
The Bengals versus Browns. Bengals
We don't even need to talk about the game.
Yeah.
Besides, the only note I have on this game, Bengals offense still is not where it should be, and that's
I
that.
agree.
Anyway,
Yeah.
Deshaun Watson
Yeah.
is out for the season. Thank God. Deshaun Watson has torn his Achilles, right? What did he do?
Yeah.
ACL,
I think it
Achilles,
was.
whatever.
I think it was his Achilles. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
was
His Achilles like popped.
Carted off the field, and people were cheering. Here is what I will say. Do I support cheering for an injury? No. Do I think that I'm sick of people saying that no one deserves an injury, because you're right. Actually, Deshaun Watson deserves much, much worse. He actually does, because I did make sure to look it up, had over 30 alleged things, sexual assault accusations. Another thing I'm going to say, you men are so obsessed with saying alleged. Yes, of course. Yeah, no, it's only a case of he said versus she said, 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 she said. I could go on for another 5 minutes. Also, if we're all out here for cash, we're all out here cash grabbing us women. We're literally saying stories about us getting sexually assaulted, because that's what every girl dreams of, having put in the news about her. Why we're picking Deshaun Watson? No. Why are we not picking Joe Burrow? He's an attractive guy. Why are we not trying to get money from him? Patrick Mahomes, he cheated on his wife with me, or he sexually assaulted me. I don't know. I'm so confused on if y'all are so certain that these aren't true, why no one else in the league has 30 plus accusations, along with 24, I think, total settlements.
Yeah.
Why
and
are
I just
you
I want to
settling
talk about
if you're
the
not
settlements
guilty?
too. And that's what I want to talk about. I want to talk about the settlements too, because like a lot of people are talking about like, oh, like why wouldn't they go to court if, like it's because they have no proof. And I just want to say, like, so I woke up from surgery back in 2016 and I did not have use of my right arm anymore. Okay. Ew, I'm not going to get emotional about this. It's fine. I had perfect use of my arm right before they go in to remove a tumor. I wake up from surgery, no use of my right arm. I have concrete proof. I have, other surgeons that corroborated the story. Okay. I worked for 2 years with a law team. And 6 weeks before my statute of limitations, they said that we were not going to go against him because no one was willing to go against him because he was too good of a surgeon. So I just want to say that a lot of this is probably due to a flawed system, and he would not pay them off. And first of all, if I were a girl, okay, if I were a girl and I was like, hey, we can try to take this to trial. There's no promises that you're going to even be able to take it to trial because we might not have enough evidence, which like sexual assault is very hard because there is not always evidence. It's really, really hard for stuff like that. And especially because like in these cases, he was not injuring these women as far as I know. Most of the women, I don't think he was injuring. I was looking through them and I didn't see any injuries. He was forcing them to do things to him. And so stuff like that is really hard to prove. You can't prove that stuff was forced upon you. And so these women are left with the trauma, and, some of them have moved on. Some of them never want to see his face again. Obviously all women deal with it differently. But like to say that there are 30 plus women out there that are lying just because not all 30 of them went to court, there are 3 of them that do have enough evidence and that are going to court and that are still trying because they don't want the money. They just want him to get punishment. And so and you know what? Like if I was looked in the face and I was like, hey, you can either try to go to court and relive this moment multiple times in front of a jury of people, or you can let him give you $5 million and never see his face again. I would take the money. I literally would, because guess what I can do with that $5 million? I can go get therapy. I can move on. I can ignore everything else. Okay. So to think that there are 30 plus women with absolutely like no relation to each other. Some of them even dropped their court case when they were asked to put their name on it because they wanted to remain anonymous. So it's not like these women are out here doing it for money and fame. Okay. Like it's not like these women are out here like going into it for this. There are 3 women out there that are not taking a dime and that are about to go relive whatever just happened to them multiple times in front of a court of law and swear on a Bible that it happened.
I literally wish that I legally could talk about my situation and my experience with something like this, but I, again, legally can't. And so I am the wrong person for you people to try and justify this to me because I know what it's like and it's not okay. And again, if any other man were in this situation, if any Joe Schmo walking on the side of the street had 30 plus sexual assault allegations, he would not be making over $100 million,
and you wouldn't be feeling sympathy for him if he stepped off a curb and broke his leg. You would be like, "Oops, let me break the other." You wouldn't care. You care because he's on your football team. A lot of people were like, like you should never cheer for injuries no matter what. And I'm like, I did not cheer for the injury. Okay, I was not rooting for it, but I don't feel sympathy
I didn't root for
him.
it, but.
I don't feel bad for him. I just
but
don't.
Again,
and
I think he deserves much worse. So maybe and someone came on because Caitlin and I were talking about it and someone said we were acting holier than thou. I'm sorry, but I haven't sexually assaulted 30 plus women. So in this case, I do think I'm a better person than Deshaun Watson and I'm not sorry about it because I've never done something like that. And again, so if you ever think you want to comment and argue about me with this, you're never going to get me to see your point of view because I'm in a situation similar and I can't even talk about it. And I know how terrible it is going to be for these women to have to go and relive that. No one wants to do that. No one wants to have these details posted about them online about what he did make them do. It's embarrassing. They have families. They don't want their families hearing all this. It's disgusting. So my only thing was if I were the fans, I would have been booing him every single time he stepped out on the field from when we got him. That's where I differ from the fans. I would have or just never gone to a game because I'm not supporting that. I'm not giving you my money. That's the only thing where I differ. But again, you're not going to make me feel sorry for someone. He's not the victim in this situation and he's never going to be. There's 30 other women that are victims and have been victims and more are still coming out. So the only victims in this situation are the women and that's point blank period. Thank you.
And to add to Spencer's about why we're just not the people to argue with is because I was also someone who was in an abusive relationship and no one believed me because it didn't happen out in public and in front of the public eye. And so when I left him way back when I was very young, I was 21. When I left him, people were like, why would you leave him? Why did he abuse me? Well, you didn't say that he did. Oh, I'm sorry. My bad. I didn't know that, the 3 weeks of flowers that he was giving me and all the nice stuff that he would do would outweigh, the abuse or the emotional abuse or whatever. Just because people are not talking about it constantly does not mean that it's not happening. My story and my trauma is still incredibly valid, even if no one saw it, even if no one witnessed it. Same thing with Spencer. No one witnessed it. Doesn't matter. Okay. It doesn't matter in any situation. I have not witnessed the millions and millions and millions of sexual assaults that happen every year in this world. And it does not mean that they're not happening. And it does not mean that their stories are not valid. Okay. That's just all I have to say about it. We are women who have dealt with it. We are women who have seen it. We are women who have had people close to us deal with it. It's just we're not the ones, okay? I promise you 3 million times out of 10, If any other really shitty quarterback was playing for the Browns and tore their Achilles, even if they had lost all 6 of their first games, if they were 0-6,
Oh, I'm not.
and this guy came and tore his Achilles, no one, I promise you, people would not be booing. Because people,
Or
especially
cheering
football
that they-
fans, or yes, booing or cheering or whatever it may be. I promise you, Will Levis, he tore his Achilles, I'd be devastated for him. Okay? Bryce Young, I'd be devastated for him.
I'm like, poor
Drake
guy.
May,
He's just
Jacoby Brissett. Yes, these are absolutely sad injuries. And I'm not negating the fact that this is a horrible injury that can happen to athletes. But I do not care because of the horrible human being that he was. And I'm just going to leave it at that.
don't care,
because
especially because he's still making millions of dollars. So I'm honestly still pissed.
he gets to sit on hundreds of millions of
I'm
dollars.
actually
while
not
there
happy.
are-
Exactly.
Yeah. There are 30 women out there that still have to deal with their trauma every day while he still gets to sit on millions of dollars while he rehabs with his super expensive medical team and in his super nice house.
He'll be fine. Unfortunately.